Hey guys, Justin here coming at you from the 3x3 test tent with another unboxing video. This one is going to be from Unit Farm. This is actually going to be the largest light from Unit Farm that I've tested so far. They're 4000. So this is probably going to light this 3x3 pretty well. So let's go ahead and of course we've got all the meters here. We've got the heat meter, we got the meter, the PAR meter spectrometer, we got the watt meter, and then of course we have the four corner PAR meters as well, and baby katana right there. Well, let's go ahead and just let's just bust into this box. Alright, there we go. All out of the box and ready to go. Let's take a look at this big old panel here. This is definitely the largest thing from Unit Farm that I've tested so far. And as usual, look at that. Just a flat panel. I really do like this design. Like, wow. No driver on the back. No BS. It's super light. Super lightweight. Easy to handle. Let's take a look at that. It's got that coating across the diodes. Just a big fat panel. Wow. And so thin. Crazy thin. So it's just got the it's like two power hookups here on this end, and then it comes with some stuff in the box. Let's take a look down here. The driver, first off, is super interesting. I've never seen a driver come with an LED like this before. And if you look here, it's actually a Meanwell driver. Crazy enough, it is a Meanwell driver. It's got a built-in fan in there, active cooling. Very interesting. Long enough cord to mount it well outside the tent. You've got a really long power cord, and then a really long cord going to the light itself, and then your double hookups here. So really a pretty nice little setup there. As far as the driver and whatnot goes, that's pretty nice. Then the accessory kit here, we've got rope ratchets, plastic gear, and then we've got the hanging kit, standard little wire hanging kit. And that's about it. That's pretty much what comes with this package here. It's definitely interesting. I hope it does well in this 3x3, because this might be a good option for some folks that are looking for a good 3x3 light. That is just awesome. There's just not enough good options out there for a good price anyway for a 3x3 light. I put like a $400 or $500 light in a 3x3, but I know a lot of people, they don't really have the means to do that right off the bat. That might be something down the road. So this might be a good option. So let's go ahead and get this hooked up. We'll see what kind of readings we can get, what kind of heat we can get out of it, spectrum and all that, and take it from there. Alright guys, we are back and we've got it all hooked up. Pretty easy to hang. It's just got the standard little wire hanging kit there. Super easy to use. Give you a look at the bottom there. Like I said, it's just one big panel. Man, just killing it. And you can see it does have a few different colors. We've got the cool white, warm white. We've got the 660 reds. Then we've got UV right there. And then the dim one right there is infrared. So we've got a UV and an infrared on that board there. It's basically two boards together. There's one big board there and one big board here. So we got one UV, one infrared on each, it looks like. I don't really see any more other than that. But yeah, this is a pretty hefty board, man. Thing's got some size to it. It definitely fits well in a 3x3 tent, I would say. You can see the coverage here, and you can see from the four-corner PAR readings that it does pretty well. It's not going to be terrible. It's 500 at least in the corners, and that's what I would say is the bare minimum to flower with, is 500 in the corners. You really want to be 600 to 900. If you can push higher than that, cool. But 600 to 900 is kind of the sweet spot. So 500 in the corners is not bad at all. So let's pull out the meter. We are at 21 inches, which is going to simulate a 20-inch canopy because the sensors are about an inch there. So let's take a look and see what the center reading is at this right now. So we'll move that one out to the middle. 889. So we're looking almost 900 in the middle at 20 inches off the canopy. Almost 900 in the middle, right in that sweet spot where I was saying you want to be. And then 500 to every corner. This is a 3x3 light, straight up. Like, this is a really nice 3x3 light, judging by those numbers. Let's take a look at the side here. Looking 680 on the side. Opposite side. $670. Could be variations in just the reflection on that. And then up close here, we do have some wires kind of hanging here. We pull those back a little bit. Make sure the camera's out of the way. So 583 with the door open. So that's still going to be deep into flower territory. Let's try this this back side here. It's kind of got a weird little floppy thing there. Still 560 even with the little floppy flop back there. This I like this tent. This is a pretty nice 3x3 tent, but I don't like the bottom tray. It's folded wrong. Like, it's folded here instead of here. And it's kind of like that all the way around. But this isn't a review of the tent. But it kind of is. But it works, you know. It works. So, yeah, man, this is pretty damn good. Now, it doesn't have a dimmer. There is no dimmer on the driver here. So no dimmer. You dim it by just raising it and lowering it, and that's really going to be about it. But at 20 inches here, I think that's going to suit most people. If you wanted to really be aggressive, you could drop it down 2 inches and go 18 inches. And that's going to raise the center level and the center mass kind of a little bit more. But it's not really going to do too much for the corners, because you're still going to have about the same distance from the light to the corners, roughly. But the center will definitely go up. But I really think for beginners to intermediate folks, I think this 20-inch range is going to be really, really good for most people. I mean, 900 in the center is no slouch. That's going to give you big, fat nuggets. And then 500 in the edges is not going to give you just complete and total larf, which is nice. So you're going to get nugs all the way through the 3x3 space with this light. Like I said, I think it's a genuine 3x3. So that's pretty cool. That's what I like to see. Good stuff. So let's grab the spectrometer here. And we'll take a spectral reading. Let me get this fired up. right. Let's take our reading. And there we go. So this is going to read higher on the PPFD because it's a taller meter. But that's the breakdown at 1083 PPFD. And then there's your spectral makeup. If I can get the glare of the camera out of there. I guess not. So you've got the bump there at 740 for the infrared. And then the bump there at 660 for the red. Then you've got a pretty decent mix of the red spectrum through there. And then you got blue. The blue spike as usual. So pretty standard as far as the spectrum goes. Nothing too crazy. It is nice that it has the infrared. It has UV too. Let me see if I can see. A little tiny bit down there at the 400. Let me put it like right under the UV. See if I can get a little more. Ah, there we go. See, I put it right under the UV. Now we're at 2251 ppfd. Yeah, there's the bump. So that gives you a little bit more pronounced bumps there at 2200. But you can see it's there. The UV is there. The UV bump, the IR bump, the red bump. The gang's all there. So pretty cool. Pretty cool. Let's let this sucker heat up because it is going to get warm because there is just nothing on the back really. No heat sink other than just this thin plate. So it is definitely going to get hot. I would recommend putting a fan on it, but I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to test it as is and we'll see what it does. But let's go ahead and let it warm up and we will be right back. I wanted to check one more thing too. Since there's no dimmer, you have to raise this for veg. So we're at 40 inches off the canopy there, or off the floor. And this meter's about 5.5 inches. We're gonna do it with this one because I already pulled the other ones out. So you're looking at about a 35-inch canopy right here for veg. So there's a middle reading. Oh, got hung up there in the lights. 470 in the middle. Corner 381. So that's about where you'd want to be for veg. Might even be a little strong. I'd say probably 36 inches off the canopy for veg, and then 20 inches for flower. So I'm sure that'll help some people out there because it is pretty strong even for veg to run at full blast. So you really got to raise it up high, 36 inches high to be exact. But yeah, let's do the heat test. Alright guys, we are back and we've got the heat gun. So let's take a look and see what we find. This one does have a sticker there, so that's going to be the most accurate reading is on that sticker, and that's reading 132. And it's definitely going to be a little hotter in the middle, so probably 135-ish, 140 in the middle, I'd say maybe. So it's definitely running pretty hot. But that's to be expected, like I said. It's just a flat piece of metal. It's going to need some help on the cooling department. And I mean, it's going to be fine just like this. It's made to run like that. But I know electronics, and I'm sure a lot of you guys do too. The cooler you can keep your electronics, the longer it's going to last. Whether it's made to run at that heat tolerance or not, it'll just last longer. So if you can cool it off a little bit better than this, just by throwing a fan on it, that'll help a lot. It really will. So really, in the end, this is a pretty decent light for a 3x3 there again. And the driver The driver doesn't heat up at all. Like, you can see some of the internal components there hitting 100, but the case itself is completely cool. It's kind of cool that you can see the internal components with this. I love this heat gun. It's awesome. So yeah, I really can't feel any heat. It feels cool to the touch. Even the bottom side barely feels warm. Like, I really like the driver. Yeah. For the price, I think this thing's gonna be a banger for some people, man. In a 3x3, it fills the space really well, but not overkill. So it's not gonna break the bank on electricity. It kind of would suck for veg because you're gonna have to run it at full blast. That's really the only drawback that I see, is that you're gonna have to run it full blast for veg and for flower. So you might want to use it in, like, if you have two tents, one's a flower, one's a veg, use this one in your flower one, use something else in the veg. That might be the option to go with. Just depends on what you need. If you guys want the info on the light, make sure you click the link below to check out where you can pick one of these up. I think there's probably going to be a discount code or something down there as well. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed the review. This one was pretty cool. So until next time, guys, happy growing.